Top of the morning to you and happy St. Paddy's Day. I've got the whole building to myself. By the time you be watching this, it'll be sometime in April. And as I should be, I'm wearing green. So what'll we be working on today? Well, I've got an electrical thing in here I want to check out. This room here, which is kind of an extra little room, has been taken over by some leprechauns. Leprechauns from the math and science department. What they lack is power. Now, there's an electrical outlet right there. But other than that, there is nothing on this wall, which is why they're running extension cords and all sorts of paraphernalia.
Buckle up for safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
Well, if you didn't understand anything I was saying, it's March 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And my deepest apologies to any of my friends out there who are Irish and actually speak with an Irish accent, and my butchering of it. What I've got going on here is this room, which will never become anything other than what it is right now, and it's basically a staff room, is in dire need of some more power. There are not enough electrical outlets in the wall, so that's what I'm trying to explore right now.
Alright, my suspicions were confirmed correct. I have worked in this room before. I didn't make a video about it. It was probably about 4 years ago. And this outlet on the wall right down here is one that I added in. This didn't used to be there, and so there was a time when this whole wall was devoid of any type of power. You can't plug an extension cord into a power bar or a power bar into an extension cord as a permanent source of power, which is what they're doing here. See, my hope is to just daisy chain off of where I pull the power from up in the ceiling for this circuit right here, and just drop another one down over here. It should handle it because it's currently handling it through a myriad of extension cords and power bars and whatnot. And so all I'm doing is making it legal because this is not. So I'm just working from memory here, but let's go take a look in the ceiling and confirm what I am pretty sure I did 4 years ago. Yep. Let me show you. So you see that little junction box right there? What I did was tapped into that. This used to be a through line. This was one line. I tapped into it and took it down the wall over there to put that outlet in way down there. And so there should be room in the box for me to tap into it once more and then run a circuit over there and do exactly the same thing as that. Drop it down over by that desk there. What I am surprised that I didn't do is write on the outside of that box which breaker number it was. Early days, I guess. But I will do that now, once I figure it out. Nope. I'm gonna try these three. Upper west hall plugs, upper south class plugs, upper north class plugs. It's probably not the south, but you can see how a double breaker has been put in here to put receptacles in the gym ceiling. Those are new. electrician did those. I didn't do those. If you've ever watched any of my older electrical videos, you will know that this is always a guessing game. We've sorted out a lot of them in terms of which breakers control which circuits and whatnot. But when this school was originally built, the classrooms were numbered different than they are today. I think one of the original principals decided he didn't like the numbering system, and so he changed it all. And as a result, nothing matched on the panel anymore, which makes things a little difficult for guys like me. Okay, here we are. The power is off there. I'm gonna go turn 2 of the breakers back on, because what I want to do is determine which breaker is controlling this circuit that I'm working on, and then I will update the labeling. Okay, for my first try, I've gone with the label that says upper north class plugs, because my room was on that side of the hall. That is the north. So let's see if that hits it. Oh man, I got it in first try. So upper north class plugs. So it's this one, and I'm gonna check the room next door and see if it's also that one. Now, you will also know, if you've watched any of my older videos, that I put these switches in and split these circuits because this classroom, all the lights used to be on one circuit. And I discovered that there were actually 2 lighting circuits pulled into this room. And they were just switching them both with a single switch on and off. So this gives them the ability to just turn the lights on at the back of the room and have it dark at the front of the room if they're watching something on the screen. Much more functional for the class. But I'm thinking that this no longer has power. Correct. Are there any others? There's nothing over here.
And it's really too bad that this outlet that is on the wall here isn't directly across from where I need to put the one on the other side of this wall. I just pull from there.
Okay. That's it. Okay, I've updated number 6 to read 202 and 204 receptacles. You can see all the corrections over the years as new discoveries were made. That should be pretty safe since there aren't too many people in the building today, but I do like to put a piece of red tape over top of the breaker that I've shut off and write "no touch" on there. That's kind of my poor man's lockout procedure. And I also hope that I have enough wire here that I can make this connection. Now, I do have enough of the 14.3, but I don't need 14.3. I just need a 2-wire. My other option, if I have to make it out of 2 lengths, is to just go from the junction box up in the ceiling to another junction box at the top of the wall and then drop a line down the wall. But we'll see what I can make out of what I've got here. Because what I can't have are open air connections. You'll see it a lot of times in hack electrical jobs where people will connect 2 wires together and just put wire nuts on them, maybe wrap a little tape around them, and leave them exposed. And you can't do that. They have to be in a junction box. The reason being is that if anyone should ever pull on one of those wires, they need to be tied into a box so that they can't accidentally be pulled apart. That's what I should have done the first time. Well, there's enough room to add another circuit. Yippee-ki-yay. I will, however, need to use larger wire nuts when all is said and done. These are too small for another And just because I like to keep things uniform, so this is what they call a renovation box. And they're named such because they're exactly what you need for doing exactly what I'm doing right here. You cut a hole in the wall, you fit them in, you tighten up all the business. And these little tabs here, they go in behind the wall. And when you tighten up these screws, they clamp to the inside of the wall. It's quite ingenious, actually. And the way they've designed this little bit inside here allows you to push them in and out of the way in order to be able to insert it into the hole in the wall that you just made. So this will fit in here like this. I might have to enlarge the hole just a little bit, but I always like to start a little bit small, just in case. Oh, maybe not. But I have to run my wire first and bring it in through the back of the box before I can put it in the hole. Well, I've taken a couple of quick measurements from there to there, and that's 10 feet. And then from there to this junction box up here, that's another 10 feet. So I'm gonna want 22 feet of BX to run this. Well, between these two pieces right there, I actually have enough to make the distance. However, I don't have another junction box here. So I have to go to the store to get a junction box. And if I'm gonna go to the store to get a junction box to do this, I might as well just buy one piece of wire that does the whole run without having to join things together. Okay, here it is. I guess you never know what you're gonna hit inside the wall, so it can always take off in different directions on you. Okay, that's good. Now I can take this other end and bring it over to the junction box. In the past, I've ended up being on the short side and just not quite had enough wire, and I had to stretch things to make them fit. This time I went a little generous. I bought enough so that I knew I'd be able to run it up and out of the way. One of my pet peeves when I'm working in the ceiling here is finding wires and cables and whatnot laying right on the back side of the ceiling tiles. They need to be up out of the way so that when you take a ceiling tile out, when you need to service something, that things aren't dropping on your head or you're not dealing with a tangle of wires. So I like to make sure I have enough to pull things up out of the way, secure them to the wall, secure them to, you know, some kind of structure. So I made sure I had enough here. All right, all the high stuff in the ceiling is done. I've put the ladder away. Now I can just concentrate on installing an outlet.
These renovation boxes work very well, actually. This is in there. It's not going anywhere. It's, I dare say, as secure here as it would be if it was attached to a stud in the wall. This is 5/8 drywall. This is solid. Now, the first thing I always like to do is attach my ground wire. It's also why I make this a little bit longer if I'm able to, because then I've got enough wire to not only wrap around the lug down here, which I'll show you in a sec, but also then carry this on and attach it to the back of my switch, or in this case, receptacle. So if you look back in here, you can see the lug I'm talking about. I've just attached the ground wire from the BX to that lug, and now that ground wire is coming out here, and this will attach to the back of my receptacle, so it will be very well grounded. I like using these commercial grade receptacles as well, because they got this big fat grounding strap on the back side of the receptacle itself. It's just so much more robust than the cheap receptacles you can buy. I would always encourage you, if you're going to put in a new receptacle, to spend a little extra money and get the good stuff. It pays off in the long run. I'll also say, and these commercial ones don't even have it, but a lot of those cheap receptacles have little holes in the back that you can stick the wire in. Never, ever, ever use those. They're crap. Do it the correct way and attach it to the lug. Let's go turn the breaker on and see what happens. Good stuff.
It's a good thing we just installed this receptacle, otherwise I don't know where I'd plug in this vacuum. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.